This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I am one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I feel like hell.
Like hell?
Yeah.
Hot and burning and full of
Yeah, I just feel
villainous ideas?
well, not villainous idea.
Full
I mean,
of sinners?
I don't feel well, but I don't feel like I'm sick.
Right.
I just feel tired and run down and like a little there's like a film over my skin or something.
In the
Like I feel greasy.
In the beginning there, I thought you were reconstructing the lyrics to Flagpole Sitta.
I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
Yeah. Like
And it's so hot,
Yeah.
and I'm in hell.
Yeah, Tim, I think you're plagiarizing how you feel
Yeah, well,
from a song.
hey, steal from the best, they say.
Steal
And
from
Harvey
the best,
Danger.
Kick the rest.
Yeah, a lot of people would be like, make a joke about how Harvey Danger is just some one-hit wonder, but I like that band. Tom.
Yeah.
They're good.
They've been talked about on 2 episodes of this show in a row, so
Yeah.
at the very
That's
least,
how
a
you
2-hit
know
wonder.
it's good.
Tim, I noticed earlier today, I was talking to you online, trying to ask you about like, hey, what do you want to do? And you were just kind of like, I don't know. And then
For a topic. You were asking me about topic
for the topic.
ideas, yeah.
But then I went into the email, or the complete guide to everything at gmail.com, and you were negotiating with a man to buy a new domain name.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Somebody.
Answer my messages. Don't answer random people emailing us and saying, hey, you want to buy a domain name?
I was hoping you wouldn't see that.
Please also, don't conduct official business without
Tom, do you think I'm going to... All right,
looping me in.
so this guy wrote... it's this guy named Keith Green, and he said, hello, I am a domain names broker and currently have the following domain for sale.
I think that Chowberry has a title as webmaster.
yourcompleteguide.com, which
Hey.
is not a website domain that I would want for this show. It doesn't make sense. This is our complete guide.
Yeah,
Maybe it was-
if he was offering our complete guide.
Yeah, sure. And maybe I should have asked them this. If
Hey,
you're
what else
interested
do
in
you
buying
have?
the domain name, let me know. I can provide you the pricing and other details. Hoping for a positive response.
You should
Which
have
is just
asked-
like, well, now you're not going to get a positive response.
Well, if you say what you want from me, sir, you're not going to get it.
But like, it's just like, don't hit me, like, right? Like,
And then you hit him?
I don't know. If somebody was like, let me sell you this watch, don't hit me. Anyway, this guy's a scamster.
Probably still wouldn't hit him.
Who's worse? Who's worse than a domain name broker?
Yeah.
Like it's somebody who like
Well,
bought up a bunch of stuff. Is like, hey, somebody who could actually use this.
Yeah, I mean,
let me
it's
insert
he's
myself.
a squatter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like that I have no respect. Look, I'm sorry, Keith Green. I'm sure he's a loyal listener to the show.
Yeah.
But like, I got no respect. He gets no respect. He's a regular. Look, consider him Rodney Dangerfield, and I'm Rodney Dangerfield's
Wife. Yeah. That's you to him.
Yeah,
You don't give him any respect.
yeah. I'll tell you. So I just wrote how much
Yeah.
because I wanted to know.
Like he's some kind of a whore.
No, he's a guy that was offering to sell something to us.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were propositioning him.
No, how much for the domain name? Yeah, I read the email to you, right?
All right.
He
Okay.
said, if you're interested in buying the domain name, let me know.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
So I said this. How
Yeah.
much?
Hey, you want this domain name?
Then he said, hi, thanks for your reply. The domain is just priced at $499 US.
Well, we got to get it.
Well, here's the thing. I wrote him back. You might not have seen this. Will you allow me to make a counter offer?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try to barter, Tom.
Right.
We got a lot of like flash drives with old episodes of After Dark.
We actually don't have that. I don't know if we have any left.
Oh, really?
Let alone if that would appeal to him, if that would interest him. Well, unless he is a
He
true
might
fan.
if he's a true fan, he might like some complete guide to everything.
Hey, we'll even sign him.
Merchandise. But
Start
he might be like,
offering
this
him-
doesn't say your complete guide to everything. I must have had the wrong guys.
Yeah, and then he's like, you guys are just trying to get rid of this merchandise. so you can get some new stuff with your complete guide printed
True.
on it.
Maybe we should just buy the domain. It's reasonably priced. Like I'm
$499.
I'm putting this guy through the ringer a little bit, but $500,
Yeah.
and then we rebrand the show. We
gotta-
got this nice new
yeah.
web domain to
What?
play
There's
around
not
with.
a better. There's no better domain than tcgte.com. A very long acronym.
Yeah, and like you're
We
not
do
even
have
the
the
T's shouldn't even be in there.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't put the T's in there.
Yeah, because they're not there. Like the first rule of acronyms: get the thes and twos out of there.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
well, and the ofs. We don't have an of in our name.
No. But we have a we have it too. So what are you saying? It should just be CGC?
Well,
Complete
I'm gonna give you a
CGE.
mulligan on that. Yeah, there you go.
CGE.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, complete guide to guides. Yeah, you should just keep offering him merchandise.
Yeah,
Like
I
when
will.
he comes back with like, all right, 2,500. Be like, all right, how about 2 USB drives,
Here's what this is.
and we'll sign a magnet.
This is a common negotiation trick that I'm using with him, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, "Will you allow me to make a counter offer?" I'm trying to build a rapport, like give him the
Yeah.
illusion of control.
Hey, friend, will you allow me to make a counter offer?
Exactly.
I know I'm just a stupid nobody.
Yeah, and then I'm slow playing him.
Yeah.
I'm hustling him. We'll just send him 2 USB drives before you know it. yourcompleteguide.com will be ours.
What kind of man? We're giving him all this free traffic. We better buy it
Do you want
now.
me to give him his give his email address?
No,
in case
I don't
somebody
want
else
somebody
wants
else.
to gift it?
No, oh, gift it to us.
Yeah.
No, man, somebody else will buy it and they'll undercut us. They'll start their own show
Yeah. That's
called
true.
Your Complete Guide
I mean, a lot of people have
With,
started podcasts
with
since
Sam and Sim.
Sam. Your name isn't Tam.
No, but Sam and Sim. Those are 2 not names. But Sam,
Okay.
hey, your name's not Tam either.
Maybe it's with Tim and Tom, but like their version of Tom sounds like me. Their version of Tim sounds like you.
Right. How would they get these guys, you think?
I don't know.
Craigslist?
Casting
Yeah.
offices. Allison Jones.
Casting Central.
Do you ever
Central
watch
casting.
the credits of a television show, Tom?
Yes, I've seen them before.
The end credits, not the opening credits.
Yeah. I've watched the end of television shows.
For the most part, all the names are the same size, like in font, right?
Uh-huh.
Font size, I guess. When it comes to casting,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be like casting by, and then it will always say. It usually says Allison Jones. Is that her name?
I don't know.
Well, I thought you said you
What?
saw end credit sequences.
Yeah, I see
Anyway,
them, but I don't write them down.
So
I should.
So
I'll
there's
start.
like the main casting person, and then there's like an assistant casting person,
Mhm.
but it's just their name is like literally like 1/5 the size of and like
And
literally
the casting agents is normal size or even bigger? you're
no
saying?
normal, the same as like everybody from like the music supervisor to the
Uh-huh.
director to like the best boy, maybe not the director and like the main
Yeah,
stars,
they might get like
but like
a-
literally
their own
every
type
other
of card.
person on the crew is in like
Grips.
you know, like 24-point font.
Electricians.
And then this one assistant is in like 11-point font. And that's got to be the most demeaning thing. Because it's like, yeah, I'm sure these casting people,
Yeah.
they have this worked out or whatever.
Mhm.
But then like, you're the one person in this whole credit sequence that is like less than everybody, not
Yeah.
just your boss.
I got
it's-
I got good news. You're gonna be in the credits. Bad news. Yours is gonna be the only font that is intentionally made smaller.
Yeah, I'd just be like, leave me out. And look, I'm sure these guys are great at
Look,
their
we
job.
have to. It saves 2 frames out of 60 per second to make it that much smaller.
Not even it's the ones that they come up. It's always coupled. It seems demeaning to me, Tom. I don't like it.
Well, casting directors are mean to their assistant casting agents, I guess.
Yes. I mean, that's coming up in Hollywood, I guess, right? That's
Yeah.
what you got to do. You got
You gotta
to
be an assistant
eat
casting
crow
director.
for a little while.
You become an assistant casting director.
You
then
start out
become,
in the mailroom, Tom.
You always
the
start
first
in the
step.
mailroom, yeah. Unless they have a boiler room, then you start there.
No, the boiler room.
Unless they have a coal
yeah, you
oven,
shovel the coal.
then you have to shovel the coal in.
That doesn't come up that often.
No,
in
a
Los Angeles.
lot of buildings in Los Angeles, is my understanding, have moved away from coal heating.
Yeah, heating
See,
it.
it was it was unnecessary in the first place.
Yeah,
They
like the smell of it.
Yeah, it was kind of silly that they built so many of the buildings around it. Because it's like, we're not gonna heat this thing with coal. Like, well, but what if it gets real cold one night? But yeah, they do love the smell. That's where all the smog comes from.
Yeah, exactly. They love it over
That
there.
and cigarettes to stay skinny.
Yeah, just smoke a cigarette and go
Instead
to
of lunch.
the Grove. That's what I say.
Yeah,
LA.
that's the big mall that everybody
Yeah.
loves to go skateboard at.
A lot of people talk crap about the Grove in LA, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought a good bathing suit at the Gap there one time.
It was a Grove exclusive Gap bathing
No,
suit.
I don't think so. I needed a bathing suit. The Gap was there.
I remember
It
when
was on sale.
I remember when
I
we
got the
saw,
best bathing suit I've had in years, Tom, for like $8.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, you saw me in it last weekend. We went swimming.
Yeah, you were taking photographs of me of me in it last weekend,
Yeah.
you idiot.
You made me do those muscle man poses.
You said they were pictures just for me.
Saw them posted on yourcompleteguide.com without my consent or knowledge.
Said it was a modeling site. Yeah, we went. We saw what's her name at the Grove that time. I was with you at the Grove.
You're gonna
famous
have to
actress.
I've seen a lot of famous actresses at the Grove.
I can't remember her name now.
I don't remember who you're referring to.
It was just on the tip of my tongue, and now I forgot.
This is.
I'll
great,
remember it
Tom.
later. But yeah, so hopefully we can get that website.
Yeah, I'd like to negotiate. What's the highest you're willing to go? Rosario Dawson, by the way.
Rosario Dawson.
She was there with two large dogs.
Two huge dogs.
Yeah.
That they were.
I was like, you can't bring these dogs to the Grove because they're gonna poop here, and like you
Yeah.
can't deal with
Yeah, it's gonna be
with-
like 50 pounds of poop,
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson.
those people with like huge. You ever see a guy with a
It was like two
Marmaduke in
Saint
the
Bernards.
Yeah, you ever see one of those guys like in a at a dog park in like Williamsburg? It's like, I know
Yeah, you better.
your
brought
apartment
a-
is not big enough. You are a creep. You had to like that dog needs more room than you do.
Yeah, that dog's like a veal in there.
Yeah.
And I hope you brought like a hefty bag for that shit they just took.
Well, you shouldn't talk about that. With her.
What? Well, that's when.
Look self-conscious about it.
What, dogs?
Yeah.
Nah, dogs
Not in
don't
front
get
of the dogs,
self-on.
Tom.
Dogs look at you while they're pooping, though. You know why?
I've never noticed this, but
Like a lot of dogs, not all dogs, but some dogs, like they'll look at you while they're pooping, and basically they're looking at you to tell you like, "Hey, I'm pooping. Keep an eye out for me."
first of all, what are you talking about? And second of all, like, how do you know this? How does anybody know this? Keep a lookout for me.
Keep a lookout because like I'm
Like if-
vulnerable right now.
Okay.
Like I'm trusting you in case some like wolves come.
Winks at you, like, you
Like,
know
hey,
what's
let me know
happening.
if some wolves are coming because I'm pooping right now.
Yeah, you're bad at that. If several of your dogs have been mauled
Taken away by wolves.
Yeah.
And even more have joined wolf packs. They've just been like, I don't want to be your dog anymore. I'm just gonna go join with these wolves.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
just
be
see
a
them
wolf, too.
roaming around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they're just like avoiding eye contact.
Yeah.
So and they're like, who's that? It's just a guy I used to know.
Somebody I used to know. Tim, what are we talking about this week?
Tom, we're talking about something that's not so cut and dried.
Okay.
Over here in the States, we generally call it bar trivia,
Mm-hmm.
but it started over in the UK, and they know it as a pub quiz or pub
Yeah.
quizzes.
Mm-hmm.
Pub quiz to me sounds depressing.
Well,
Pub quiz
you
is
just
on
think
par
English
with
is
Sunday
depre-
roast. I think anything that goes on in
A pub.
in a pub in the UK is just like, you know what? Everything's too like wooden and brown in here.
But that's what's nice about it. They're cozy.
I don't know. It just
And a
seems like
pub
there's
is a bar,
level of
and a
like
bar is a
grime
pub.
all over everything.
I think it's just that things
It's like,
are
yeah,
older.
this bar
a
was
lot.
built in like 1658 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, when's the last time you cleaned it, right?
Well, probably since then, at the
Who
very
knows?
least.
there's like you go to the bathroom and like the walls are made of stone. Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
Look, all right, so we're calling it bar trivia. There.
Right.
Boom.
Good.
Tom,
Yes.
what do you know about bar trivia? Are you all right.
Mm-hmm.
We've participated in it separately and together for years now.
Right.
Sorry, you go.
What am I saying?
I don't know. I asked you what you knew, and then you started to answer, and then I interrupted you.
Said, it's something we've been to.
Yeah.
Bar trivia is one of those things that like I like when I'm going to a bar for it. And boy, howdy, is there nothing I'm least excited about when I go to a bar just to have a drink and there's bar trivia going on.
Exactly. I'm more likely to like walk into a bar and see that there's like an active hostage situation and be like, you know what? I really want to drink. I like this place. I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will work itself out.
Yeah, this.
But if it's bar trivia, it's like,
yeah. This could go on for another
unless
hour.
I'm here specifically for this. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's 100% how I feel about it.
Well, good. We're in agreement.
Okay.
Number one.
Yes.
We like when we're there for the trivia. We don't like it when we're not there for the trivia.
Well, it just stinks when you're not there for the trivia because
you immediately hate everybody who's there.
You
like,
hate everyone.
What losers? You came here for this?
Yeah.
I came here to drink and talk with my friends.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, sorry, you and your friends ran out of things to do and you got to play trivia just to get along. But I came here with my friends to yuck it up and party.
Tom, here's what I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Why ever did we step one foot in a bar ever in our lives?
What do you mean? They have alcohol.
Sure, you can buy alcohol at the supermarket, though, for way cheaper.
Yeah.
And you don't go to a bar and be like people do, but like me and you and our group of friends, we've never like been like, hey, let's go talk to those people over there. Whenever we see another group of people or another person at the bar, we're just like, fuck them. We don't need them. Like, and then like somebody tries to talk to you at a bar, and you're just like, shut up. What are you talking to me for? I don't know you. I haven't known you since high school. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Like what? I feel like I have no business at a bar. I show up with people that I'd be hanging out with anyway, and I'm overpaying for drinks, and I never like the music, Tom. And it's always too loud.
I think I think none of us ever would have gone to a bar if like one of the people in our group of friends was like really rich and had like a nice home bar.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's like, well, I don't know. Not that like bars are nicer than like anybody I know's living room, but they're like more set up to socialize or whatever.
But what do you mean socialize?
Talk, man. Gab. Chew the fat.
Wouldn't you rather sit on a couch than at a table?
You triggered my Siri. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Your Siri's feeling very triggered right now.
No, because if you're all sitting on a couch, then it's gonna be like, hey, let's throw on the boob tube, see what's going on, see who the latest
Not if you
assistant
came to
casting
my house.
directors are.
I don't even own a TV.
You do. You just bought a 4K TV, Tim.
Yeah. 4 kilobytes. What is it? Kilowatts? Kilowatt hours?
No, it's like lines of resolution or something.
K stands for lines of resolution.
4,000 lines.
Okay. That doesn't seem like a lot.
It's a lot. Cause
over my whole TV, there's only 4,000
lines.
lines?
The lines are going both ways.
What?
Yeah.
4,000 each way?
No.
Because my TV
I think it's like
is
4,
wider than
it's
it
like
is
4,000 by 2,000 ish,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
So they
And
went
it's
with
like
the higher number for
2160.
the rubes like me.
Yeah, they don't want to give you the low number. Then you're
Yeah.
like, well, how's this?
2K? Yeah, right.
How's this
I
even
remember
better
that.
than what I have now?
I remember Y2K, and not fondly. Tom, if
You lost everything, if I'm not mistaken.
if Y2K happened now, first of all, it'd be very surprising because it's 18 years after
Yeah.
it happened. But I feel like we would, as a society, as a country, like we would be freaking out. Like,
oh yeah, there would be conspiracy theories and
yeah, like I just remember like everybody was pretty like they're like people are like, oh yeah, they were joking like, oh, planes might fall out of the sky or whatever. But then like everybody was like, all right, well, have fun at your parties, and then nothing happened and everything, and everybody's like, I knew nothing was gonna happen. But like if that happened now, this is why we need to hey, unplug, man, tune out.
Well, no. Why would you need to unplug if this thing's gonna unplug you anyway?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, why?
Beat the rush, beat the unplugging rush.
Or would it have been better? And we'll get to pub trivia or whatever in a second. Would it have been better if all that stuff came true? We went back to the Stone
It's
Age.
just like, I guess the internet was a bad idea.
I'm on board.
And we'd be doing this show on local AM radio or ham radio.
Yeah, ham
preferably.
radio. Maybe just on walkie-talkies to each other. Tom, maybe we just have these conversations in front of a nice roaring fire.
Yeah, they'd be just for us.
Yeah. That's what things used to be, man.
Yeah.
Just for the people involved.
Yeah, now it's like, how can I monetize this conversation?
Yeah. Everybody's into monetization and frictionless micropayments and the blockchain, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm into.
So pub trivia, Tim. Or pub quizzes, bar trivia.
Yeah, Tom. So you go to a bar.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
a pub.
explain what it is to knuckleheads.
There's a guy there. You
Well,
would
sometimes
think,
it's a woman.
yeah. You'd think this person would be wearing.
You said that in a way like, yeah, not the bars I go to, pal.
Tom, my favorite.
You only go to gentlemen's clubs.
That's not true. And oftentimes, the person
No,
on
you
stage
always-
at gentlemen's clubs is not a gentleman.
Yeah, but you're always like, oh, I go to gentlemen's club, and then you act like you get your tails in a ruffle. You're like,
My
your
tail's in a
feathers in
ruffle?
a feathers in a ruffle. Is that what it's called?
I don't have feathers, Tom.
What?
Yeah, I got a beak. No feathers.
You get all upset, like, oh, another gentlemen's club where there were nude women. And it's like, come on, learn.
This has never happened, Tom. I know exactly what I'm getting into when I go to a gentleman's club. A very uncomfortable time that I never want to happen again. No, that's not what happens, Tom. You go and there's a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person there.
Yeah.
Who's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the quiz master. You'd think they'd be wearing some sort of elaborate hat.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Ooh, you've come into the wrong place.
Yeah.
This is the Quizmaster's realm.
Right, exactly. And you can't get out because suddenly the door is some like swirling spiral thing.
Yeah. They'll hypnotize you if you look at it too long.
So you better just go in, sit down, and strap in. The Quizmaster's in charge at this point. Tom, I would have to say one of my by far my favorite Quizmaster is a woman. So chew on that, Tom.
It's just the only person you know that hosts trivia is a woman.
I don't know. You don't know everybody I know, Tom.
I know
There's
99%.
there are other
you
people
know.
I know.
Not
besides
trivia
Roland.
people.
Doug.
Yeah, like I don't know some of the people
Randy.
you work with, but like
Pete.
Doug and Randy and Pete.
Yeah. They're Quizmasters. They're just not as
Yeah.
good as our friend Aaron Lee. Sorry.
It's you, Doug, Randy, and Pete. You're the lunch gang, right?
Yeah, the lunch pail gang.
The lunch pail gang.
Yeah.
You all bring your lunch pails, and you all eat on the stoop of your...
Yeah, our wives made us sandwiches.
Yeah, and you sit on the stoop of your place of work and catcall women walking by.
Exactly, while eating the sandwiches that our wives prepared for us.
Yeah. Hey, you're hotter than the sandwich my wife made me.
Yeah, you're hotter than the
Pastrami.
gabagool.
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 You can make a gabagool sandwich? What is
I
gabagool?
think it's just a smoked meat.
Really? That can't be the official name. That's
Well,
like
it's-
a silly name.
You know it as capicola, I think.
Oh, capicola.
Yeah.
Gabagool. What is that, like a baby talk way of saying it?
No, it's like when people say parmesan, it's like it's parmesan.
It's parmesan.
or it's like mozzarella, it's mozzarella.
No, they say it's matzah. Hey, you got any matz?
You don't know, Tom. This is very offensive what you're saying right now.
So
Anyway,
you're
so you
explaining.
go in.
Walk in.
The quiz master's like, ah,
Uh-huh.
oh,
The door slams shut.
Twiddly-dee, twiddly-doo.
The door slams shut behind you.
A quiz for me, a quiz for you.
Sometimes it's just them on a television screen while the room's filling with gas.
Yeah.
or water.
I haven't been to the water. The gas one I'm familiar with.
Right. The water one takes a lot. It's a lot more cleanup.
So here's what you do. The quizmaster's like, here's the challenge, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's advertised and people are there for this.
Right.
You come, you split up. You come with your team, right? And it's usually like there's a limit, maybe 5 to 10 people limit on a team.
Usually there's not a lower limit. You want to play by yourself, that's fine. But
maybe some sort of genius big brain comes in.
Right. Somebody who's too smart to have ever made friends.
Yeah. That's a sad situation.
Well,
huh?
it happens every day.
It's sad that extreme intelligence can really lead to isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
You have no idea the hurdles I've had to overcome to make friends because of my extreme intelligence.
Yeah, what if you just like sit at home and like bash your head with a frying pan, get all those smarts out?
I hit my head on the refrigerator yesterday.
Save this for
So
our
hard.
Patriot exclusive episode of hitting our heads.
Oh, man. No, this wasn't as good as the last head hit, but it was pretty good.
You
And
hit your head a lot, Tom.
And it was like this refrigerator. It was the kind of thing like you can't even be mad about. Like I've lived here for years. This refrigerator has not moved.
Yeah, you're. It's been
not the
6 years that
refrigerator.
you've been in this apartment.
It's not the
You
refrigerator.
haven't gotten a new refrigerator.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think it's moved. Yeah.
Man, that'd be the perfect crime. Replacing your refrigerator with a similar
Slightly
enough.
smaller one.
Yeah, exactly. Because you wouldn't notice that.
You know what? I would, but I would think I was going crazy.
Exactly.
I
And
wouldn't
then-
be able to convince anybody
And
else.
you would have been like, I must be going crazy. Probably has something to do with when I hit my head.
On this
Knock something-
refrigerator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like I don't have old pictures of my refrigerator to show people. Like, look, this is what it used to look
Yeah.
like. Yeah, the perfect crime.
That would be like how
That would
effective-
end up with me in an asylum.
How long, like, if you knew someone was going to live in a house or an apartment for like 30 years, like if you like once a month or once every 6 months, like had replicas made like, like 0.5% smaller for everything in their home. Like eventually you'd get down to like dollhouse furniture, but it would have happened so gradually that this
over
person
30
wouldn't notice.
years.
Yeah, they would have just been like, "No, I guess it's always been there." You just switch out
I
for
mean, they
a
noticed before
0.5%
then.
smaller.
They would notice before it got to dollhouse size.
I don't know. The human we're
I
very
think they-
adaptable creatures, Tom.
No, but they'd start notice like once they couldn't like fit a pot roast in the refrigerator or the oven or whatever.
They must be like, "Man, pot roasts are getting bigger these days. Bigger and bigger."
They'd maybe think that once, but then 6 months later, when the oven got even smaller, then they'd be like, "No, something's up."
You need some sort of presence there gaslighting them and being like, "No, I'm telling you, your refrigerator was always this size. Don't be frantic here. Don't be unreasonable."
Yeah, you have
Come on.
a syringe full of sedative. Well, now come on, we don't want to do this. Just calm down. The furniture's not getting smaller, very, very gradually.
Yeah. I feel like that's something
I think 5%'s too big.
that
too.
0.5%.
Oh, 0.5%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would take longer than 30 years to get to dollhouse furniture if you're doing it once every 6 months though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that Dr. Landry might have done to Brian Wilson in the early 80s.
Gotten
To,
custom
like,
made smaller.
yeah, just to like keep him under his control and like get the publishing rights for the Beach Boys songs.
Hey, I mean, yeah, you could probably get a loan at the bank if you tell them, like, I'm going to use this money to make Brian Wilson's furniture smaller very gradually, and against the loan, I'd like to put up the rights to the Beach Boys.
Exactly. I'll get around a loan.
Yeah.
I get around. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, so you assemble your team. There are normally everybody gets real quiet, or they're supposed to get quiet.
Yeah.
And there are rounds of trivia, maybe like 10 questions or so.
Yeah, usually it's like 5 rounds of 10 questions.
You know, that's
It
what started-
varies.
Yeah, this came to being in the 70s, which
Yeah.
makes sense because like people answering
Everybody's
questions. are fun.
smoking weed.
Yeah, exactly.
dropping acid.
But it was one
saying,
company.
Hey, let's do a trivia.
It was one company in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
Burns and Porter, which makes the whole thing more depressing sounding. Burns and Porter.
You know what's a
coming
weird
in.
thing about the UK? I don't know this much about it, so maybe I'm wrong. Is there are like a lot of chains of bars, and like we don't really have that except for
we
like,
got a Chili's.
yeah, but that's a restaurant.
Oh, Tom, we got the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, that's a really. I mean, they're anti-corporate, if anything.
Yeah, they're just counterculture. You walk into the Hard Rock Cafe and you're just like, man, do these guys have any respect for authority?
Yeah. What the hell is? How do I know they're not just gonna spit in my face?
And guess what? Yeah, spit on your face. These people, they're musicians. Sometimes they smash their instruments right there on
What?
the stage. Until but it doesn't matter.
And
Tom.
then they're like, oh, don't worry, the Hard Rock Cafe will piece it back together.
They don't even do that. They just get new instruments because they got money
What?
to burn, Tom. Because the youth of America
Oh,
is
must be
going out.
nice.
They're just
disposable instruments.
exact. Yeah.
That's I'm sure that's great for the environment.
Yeah. Good job, you idiots.
Yeah.
Roger, Pete Townsend,
Yeah.
Roger Daltrey's the other
Liam
guy.
Gallagher.
Yeah. Freaking Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to go your way towards global warming and pollution.
Yeah.
Gonna go my way. Reuse instruments.
It's sustainable. Perhaps you've
It's
heard
not
of it.
sustainable. To smash your instrument every night?
Reusing instruments,
Oh,
Tom.
reusing them. Yeah, it's very sustainable.
Yeah. No, what Lenny Kravitz is doing on
sometimes
stage.
You can pull a
I want to
wicked
fly away
sustain.
from his business model of smashing instruments every
Yeah.
night.
American woman, get away from me. Hey, Lenny Kravitz, get away from me.
Yeah, and take your guitar and keep it in better condition.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, pub chains. Yeah, there are pub chains that aren't restaurants. They're just pub. Like we don't have any chain bars that don't serve food.
All these pubs, I guess they don't. Do they serve
Maybe some
apps?
No, like maybe some have like bar food, but like not entrees.
Right. Well, look, bar food's good with me, Tom.
Look,
Look, it's not. I guess this isn't about what I like. It's about
right.
It's about the thing that you said that exists.
And I know that there are some that just they don't serve food. We don't have any that I'm aware of bar chains that don't serve food.
Well, that's the one thing we have.
Maybe Barcade.
Right.
But Barcade serves food? I think some of them serve food.
But that's like a local chain, too.
We're getting a nod from our engineer, Marika.
She asked you not to say her name ever again on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that was just what I thought about bars.
Okay. So everybody,
you were still telling the rules.
yeah, so you split into teams, and it's like round one. Now everybody shut up. Everybody put your phones away, and everybody whisper. Because I'm going to ask a bunch of questions.
Well, you got to whisper, or else other people are going to get the answers.
So you've assembled your team. Ideally, and we should talk about this in a little bit, or we'll talk about it now, Tom. Assembling your team. You don't want everybody with the same knowledge base. Tom, you and I are actually very bad people to have on the same trivia team.
Yeah.
Because we know about, fast food, late 90s music, and that's about it.
Like comedy, like pop culture stuff in
Yeah.
general, I think. Yeah, to the point
If
where
they ask anything about, the name of a country, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to the point where this weekend we were playing, what was it called? Code Names, a different trivia game.
Yeah.
Where I accurately dissuaded two other people on our team because I knew your exact frame of knowledge. And it was like Odysseus or something. I was like, Tim doesn't know Greek mythology.
Yeah.
That's not what he would have picked. And everybody's like, no, but I think that's the right answer. I'm like, whether it's the right answer or not, it's irrelevant. Tim doesn't know that stuff. He wouldn't have picked it.
Tom, you and I should go on the Newlywed Game.
Yeah,
we'd run the goddamn board on the Newlywed
really
Game.
clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know each other's likes and dislikes and what each other know and don't know.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah. Is there a game? Here's what would be a good game. If you had, it would be kind of I guess maybe like a melding of the Newlywed Game, bar
The
trivia,
Newlywed Game.
bar trivia, and Final Jeopardy, which would be if I get to bet, if I get the answer, if I get the question in secret, then I bet how much I want to wager if you'll be able to get it or not.
Tom.
Yeah.
I think what you just described
Mm-hmm.
is NBC's The Wall, hosted by Chris Hardwick.
Is
Your
that
hero,
how it works?
From what I understand.
My hero. Is that how it works?
Yeah, there's a spouse or a loved one in a fella one half of a podcasting duo
Right.
in a secret booth, and then they ask the question, and like you get to choose how much you're willing to wager on. They drop a ball down a wall of things, and it's sad we'll never see that show again.
Well, we'll repitch it. I've got this new idea, and it's apparently the same old idea.
It's one of those. That is a show that is infuriating, mostly because it's one of those like you watch it for an hour and they wind up asking like 6 questions the whole time.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. Like first they talk to the person like
Who
why they
gives a
think the
shit?
person will
Yeah.
know it, and they talk for 5 minutes of that for
Who
one
cares?
question.
Maybe they have.
And they go to the person in
telepathy.
isolation, and then they talk through the whole thing. It's like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire ruined American society.
Too much
'Cause it
talking.
was just like, hey, talk about your thought process.
Yeah,
I don't care. You
we
either
really
know
gotta
it or you
stretch
don't.
this shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Trebek never asked anybody like, "Oh, what made you think of?"
I read
It's
it in
like,
a goddamn book,
yeah,
Trebek. What
it's
did you
the right
think?
answer. I knew it was the
Yeah,
right answer,
I looked
so
it
I
up
gave
and
you the
I
right
memorized
answer.
it.
You know what? I think it's mostly like things like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. These game shows where it's people guessing. I don't want to see people guessing. I want to see people confidently saying, "I know the answer."
Yeah, I don't want an educated guess.
Yeah.
No, I want somebody to really shame me, make me feel dumb.
What was the rest of the rules for pub trivia?
Oh, you answer the questions. Okay, so then the round ends, right? And
Wait,
they've
what
asked.
do you mean to answer the questions? I don't think.
They've
did you
asked a
get
number
that?
of
Okay.
questions. You write
10
them
questions usually.
down. Yeah, I don't know, Tom. I wouldn't.
It varies a
pigeonhole
lot, but I've been around, and it's usually about 10.
You're thinking about a specific pub trivia
No,
that we
I've
played
been
like
to
3
other
times
ones.
recently.
I've been to other ones.
Okay, you write them down on a slip of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are 2 ways that this goes,
Yeah.
and one of them is bullshit.
One of them is wrong. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So one of them, the way that like, the only way it makes sense, you're done. You fold up your paper in half or whatever.
And
You bring it up.
swallow it.
You bring it up. No.
And then nobody knows if you were right or wrong.
And then it's just the honor system. And they go, who won? And then whoever raises their hand
Yeah.
gets the bar tab.
Or even if they don't do that, you know in your own heart you won.
Exactly. It's not, look, it's not about prizes. It's not about glory.
No.
It's about,
You know what? I've never seen any actual glory take place at a pub trivia. Like,
no.
all I've ever seen is like the team that won, they want glory. Everyone else there hates them.
Yeah.
It's like there's no audience here. There's no fans in the stands.
The teams
here.
are big enough that they can pat each other on the back, though.
Yeah, only so
Where it's
far.
just like, hey, these are me mates.
Yeah. Usually by that point, I'm on my way over to throw a drink in somebody's face.
Usually the quizmaster. You often have a problem with the quizmaster.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know any of those questions, you idiot. We'll
So
get to
there's 2
my
ways that you score at the end of every round. One of them, you just bring the paper up, and the quizmaster goes through and marks. Oh, hold on. We forgot about the hilarious thing that everybody has to do in the beginning. You come up with a team name.
Oh, yeah.
If I were running pub trivia,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like your team A, your team B, your team C. You can't change
Wow,
it.
this is like Tim's Soviet Union pub trivia.
Yeah, whatever. Everybody's trying to be all clever, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and sometimes it's like, it's a real tasteless thing. It's like referencing
it's
like a
always, like,
celebrity that
real
just died of a heroin overdose.
Yeah,
and
it's like, I put a sex pun in their name.
yeah, it's like, come on, man. You don't need to do
Yeah, I don't
that.
like.
Look, you might be smarter. You might not. You might be smart,
Mm-hmm.
but you're probably not funny or
Yeah.
clever.
The last team name I came up with, I thought was good.
What was it?
Tim's a jerk.
No. That's
No,
not what
I'm
it
just
was.
kidding. I would never say
That's
that.
not very clever.
No, it was no the guy
I'm saying whatever.
the guy hosting, his name was Tim as well.
Ah, that's a smart move.
No, it was after they gave us like all the warnings about like you can't research things on the internet and stuff. I named our team the Internet Researchers. And boy, the hosts had a lot of fun with that. So they were like, "Oh, I don't know about this team, but the internet. Oh, we'll have to check."
So
shut up.
Well, no, I mean you invited that.
We researched on the internet beforehand.
All right.
Not now. Do you see a desktop computer on our table?
Tom, people,
You
the
knucklehead?
computing power in our pockets these days, it's astounding, Tom.
That's
It's
disgusting. It's gross.
So either the quiz master takes them and marks and grades them, and then, or you pass. The other way is everybody passes their answer sheet to another team.
Bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like
because not everybody has the same grading criteria.
because they're like, oh, the answer to number 2 is the Beatles, and then they're just like, yeah, they got it wrong. They just wrote Beatles.
Yeah.
And then you have to they get they give it
Or
back.
they put the Beatles, but they spelled it the non-punny way.
Yeah. Which, who would ever do that?
Somebody.
What word do you think it's been written more in the last 20 years? Beatles, Beetles, or Beatles, Beatles?
Probably the latter.
Yeah, right. The rock band, huh?
Yeah, people write about.
They might not have been bigger than Jesus, Tom.
They're bigger than actual
Than
Beatles.
actual Beatles.
Yeah, more
so that
famous.
that's a feather in their cap, right?
Yeah.
Who's writing about Beatles these days? But who's writing about the Beatles?
Yeah,
Lots of people.
it's true. More
In the
certainly-
pages of Rolling Stone, Spin Magazine,
Yeah,
Cream Magazine.
not just the pages of Bug Monthly. All right, so to speak about referencing the team name I just said, what is your feeling about cheating in these games? In these
I'm against it.
I'm not only against it, like I think like pub trivia cheating makes me want to like take up vigilantism more than anything.
Right. Violence against strangers.
Yeah, nothing.
They're not
makes-
breaking any law.
Right.
So you're not really a vigilante. This would just be
Yeah,
violence.
violence, yeah. Because it just makes me so mad. Like when you see somebody cheating, because usually these pub trivia, like what's the usual prize?
Bar tab, which is also, who cares? Just
Well-
pay for your tab, everybody. Just pay for your drinks.
Well, and it's usually like a bar tab, and it's like, well, I already like budgeted for. I'm coming here to buy some drinks.
Exactly.
Like I'm not.
Oh, do you think there are ever people that are like, we'll
Boy,
go there.
I got to win this quiz, or else
Yeah,
I am
otherwise-
not going to be able to pay that tab. No, I've never gone in with that mentality, which would honestly be more fun. That'd be
Yeah.
great if I like left my wallet at home and just didn't bring any money.
Yeah,
And it was
otherwise,
like-
if you lose, you're going to be washing dishes.
yeah, and it's like, well, you either win the pub quiz, or I wonder if anybody's ever like tried to stiff them on the bill, and they're like, well, look, pal, you got one chance. Pub trivia is about to start. You have a chance to win all your drinks back.
Wow.
But if you don't, then yeah, you're gonna be washing dishes.
Does that ever happen in real life, where if you don't pay your bill,
You
you
can
get,
wash the dishes?
Wash dishes?
No, because they pay dishwashers. Like they
Yeah, it's
they hire illegal people to pay like
well, can you not say illegal people?
people who are illegally here. What would you like me to say? How would you like me to put it?
Undocumented.
Undocumented. They hire undocumented people. They pay them like
Workers, yeah.
like $2 or $3 an hour. And it's like, well, you're not going to be able to pay
Probably
off your.
shouldn't go to these places if that's the case. Paying people
That's the
$2
case
an hour,
everywhere.
$2 an hour, Tom.
Did I ever tell you? I told you about the time I heard negotiations at a pizza parlor, where like the owner was like hiring a new guy, and it was like a guy who like I think
You know what?
What?
let's not go down this road.
The guy was just like, all right. There was no real interview, and then he was just like, all right, you can start tomorrow. It pays $1.35 an hour. It was just like, what?
I mean, what was he doing? Was it to like read books? I'd read books for $1.35.
I don't think it was even higher.
That's something I do for pleasure.
Yeah, no.
But no book report. At the
It
end.
was
if I
my
had to write a
understanding
book report,
that he was going to pay this man $1.35 to make pizzas.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think.
I think you might have misheard in that situation.
No, I'm telling you, Tim.
$1.35.
I was flabbergasted.
But was this 1948?
It was 1948.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's a little bit more.
It was actually. He was like, hot dog. I'm gonna buy a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that you can't wash it. Like, if you stiff a restaurant,
yeah, I agree with you. You can't
have to wash
dishes to get
for
out
the
of
rest of the week.
One time I didn't pay my cable bill. They made me do maintenance on the wires in my building.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, just in the building, that's nice. I
Yeah,
mean, at least they make you go up on the poles.
They gave me because they knew I wasn't that savvy,
right?
And so they gave me a bunch of those, those little plastic like U things that you had to hammer in to keep the wires running against the wall.
To keep them neat.
Yeah, I had to do that for a couple hours.
Oh, that's nice. Usually they don't put that kind of care in.
Yeah, they caught me stealing Cinemax, so they were just like, you know the drill, Tim.
Yeah.
Start lightly hammering those plastic.
You didn't think we were going to let you watch those Emmanuel movies for free, did you?
Is that some sort of adult?
Yeah, that was like an adult series. It might have been Showtime or Cinemax.
All the same.
Some old school perverts out there will know what I'm talking about.
So everybody, the teams compete. There
it really wasn't
rounds.
a good thing for perverts, to be honest with you.
What?
This movie or these shows.
Why not? Is this another avenue that we shouldn't?
No. I think it was just
when you speak with such authority about what's good for perverts. You gotta wonder, how does he know? How does he have such intimate knowledge about what's good for perverts?
I'm just saying, like, what's good for like 13-year-old Tom would not satisfy today's perverts.
All right.
Today's perverts are very demanding.
We came here to talk about pub quizzes or bar trivia, whatever you want to call it.
Somebody on one of my teams tried to cheat recently, and
who?
I will not out them.
Why not?
It was actually pretty funny.
We'll bleep it.
And how they were doing it. But I was just like, what are you, out of your mind? Like,
phones, smartphones, absolutely ruined bar trivia, huh?
They ruined society. They've ruined everything.
Yeah, exactly. Shut it off.
Yeah.
Pull that switch. Come on, Y2K bug. Maybe it's just been lying in wait till we let our defenses down in the Y2K bug. Or maybe the Russian government will do it.
Yeah, maybe they've...
shut down the whole grid.
Well, yeah, that's actually really scary. Anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Oh, wait, I'm not saying everything's fine. I think a bar tab is a pretty crappy prize. Sometimes they give away books. I'd prefer that.
I don't know. Like, I could
One
just
time
go
I
to
went
a library and get a
bingo at
random
a bar
book.
and they gave me pornography.
Nice.
That was one of the first episodes of this here show we talked about.
I remember, yeah.
A decade ago. Anyway, Tom, did you know that back in the days of Cash Cab, the Cash Cab producers or whatever would hang around various pub trivias, and people who knew trivia, they'd be like, "Hey, why don't you be on Cash Cab?
Hey, why don't you get in this cab?"
Yeah, well, they'd be like, "Why don't you be at this corner in a week from now and hail a cab
that has a bunch of lights in it?"
I've been watching Cash Cab. It's a pretty good show, Tom.
Okay.
What's the saddest year? 2006?
What do you mean?
Just a year that, like, everything that you see from that year, you're just like, ugh. In our lifetime.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I'm sure, like, the early 40s is like, yeah, okay, that's, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a little more depressing than the year before everybody had iPhones.
Yeah, but, like, it's just like...
yeah, that time because,
like, the TV shows all had that, like, weird... They were all filmed on digital cameras for the first time.
Yeah, but not HD.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's... 2006 strikes me as, like, a good time where we're not nostalgic about it yet.
I don't think we will be.
No, it's like kind of too close, and like our lives were just full of like shitty versions of everything we have now.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, we're gonna keep like sending more young people overseas for no reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Rhodes Scholars.
You're talking about the Merchant Marines.
Yeah. Tom, at pub trivia, I get irrationally competitive. Here's the thing. I'm not a competitive person unless it's something that I have a shot at winning.
Yeah.
And that doesn't come up often.
No, I'm the same way. Like when I'm playing pub trivia, like I kind of don't give a shit for the first few rounds. And then once they read out the scores, if I'm on a team that's like in the top 3, that's when it's like, all right, everybody shut the hell up. Stop joking around.
Yeah.
We need to win.
How do you feel about the audio rounds where usually they'll play a 15-second clip of a song and you have to name the artist and they're generally themed?
I feel okay about it, except they're too slow.
Yeah.
Slows down the pace of the game.
And also it's like you either know it or you don't. And like,
yeah, 100%.
and if you can't pull it, just write like a portion of the lyric there and you'll remember what it sounds like. It'll jog your memory.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's always right away you're going to be like, oh, I know this. Shit, where is this from?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I know this? Usually you have to guess the artist, which is harder. Because a lot of times it's like one-hit wonders or like a band, like a new band or artist, like first hit. So you don't really know them that way. Like you'll know their name, but you don't know the person.
Exactly. Do you remember you and I were in a bar on Long Island in like probably 2006, and there was like this weird trivia thing that was happening where they'd go up to people individually and you put on headphones and they'd play clips of 10 songs and you had to write the artist, I think, and the song. And then if you got all 10 right,
yeah,
because like they would do it to you, they just approach you one at a time.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then you write them down. If you got all 10 right, you'd be entered into a raffle for an iPod Mini.
Vaguely.
I went 10 for 10, baby, and I got that iPod Mini.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I had to go pick it up like a town like 10 miles away, and I just never did. But
you
they
never
called me.
did?
They called me twice, and they were like, come on, Tim, come pick this up. You earned it. And it was current songs at the time. If there was a trivia where you had to name current songs in 2018, where it's just like, hey, is this Post Malone? Is this Cardi B? I'd be like, probably. I don't know.
You're like, look, I don't know. This could be Post Malone. It could be pre-Malone.
Yeah. I don't know what era it's from. I don't know that much about the Utah Jazz.
Do you want to solve some problems, Tim?
I do.
All right.
At least one.
Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems, a segment of the show where me, Tom, and Tim solve problems.
You're
Hello.
not allowed to do the intro. That's my thing. You do the intro to the regular show.
Because I'm reading the problem, so I'm in charge.
I don't agree that you should
I'm
read
the big
the problem.
boss.
All right.
You
Here.
can read it if you want.
I don't have it up.
Dear Tim and Tom, as America's preeminent etiquette experts, I was wondering
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, email us at thecompleteguide@gmail.com. Hey, real quick, if you're coming to, I know this is early, Tom, but you gotta get them early and get them
the
off.
early bird gets the worm.
If you're coming to the London show,
Our sold out London show.
yeah. And you're going to be there and you want us to solve a problem live on stage. It's a lot of fun and you'll get a nice little prize. Email us thecompleteguide@everything@gmail.com and just put in the subject line for the London show or something. You know, just make it obvious. Put it in
the subject line because otherwise it'll get lost with everything else.
It'll get lost in the sauce. And our email is very saucy. We have a lot We have a lot of offers for domain names coming in. It's hard to it's hard to keep
It's
track.
hard to sift through everything.
Yeah.
The prize is me and Tim go on either side of you and kiss your cheeks
No.
at the same time.
No, that is not the prize.
Well, but you have to be, and if you at the last second pull away, so me and Tim kiss each other, boy, we're gonna be real upset about
be
it.
red faced.
Yeah,
Embarrassed.
mostly just because like you're disrespecting the prize.
Right. Who is this email from, Tom?
Emily,
Are we allowed to say her name?
I think so.
Okay.
If we can't, tough.
Yeah,
No,
it's
not
called-
tough. It's just this isn't that kind of a problem.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of times people don't want to use their name because their problem's like, oh, I'm cheating on my wife, and should I do that? It's like, hey man, certainly don't use your own name. Anyway,
What's Emily's last name?
she input it in. I was wondering if you could sell an argument between my boyfriend and I about public interaction I had. On a day off, I decided to go see a movie at 2 p.m.
Hell yeah.
The best time to see a movie.
Yeah.
I walked into a theater that was empty except for one woman. The seats were arranged in 2 groups of rows separated by a large aisle. I would attach a seating plan if I could.
Well, we wouldn't be able to appropriately
Describe?
it better than 2 groups separated by an aisle.
Yeah,
I think
makes
that
sense.
paints
Standard-
a wonderful picture.
Yes. I walked into the large aisle and set about picking the best seat in the last row before the large aisle, right in the middle of the theater. Finding the perfect seat, I sat down, and it just so happens this seat was in front of the only other person in the theater. They didn't register to me as this didn't register to me as
Tom,
weird.
Do you need me to read these
But-
from now on?
But boy, did it annoy the woman behind me. She started yelling, "Oh my God, are you seriously sitting in the seat directly in front of me?" Completely taken aback, I responded calmly, "It's a movie theater. I can sit wherever I want. And I'm short." She moved a few seats away and said, "I'm short too." All flustered, I got up and moved to a seat further away from her.
Not necessary.
So now neither of them had the best seat in the house.
Right.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. My boyfriend thinks I'm a madman for choosing the seat right in front of her. I kind of see his point, but also, can I sit wherever I want in the name of perfectly viewing the screen? Aren't movie theaters designed so you can sit in front of people? It's not like I sat right next to her. I'm no creep. In retrospect, sure, it was a little weird that I picked that seat, but if she had asked nicely, I would have realized and totally moved. But my boyfriend can't see past the initial transgression. What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Jesus, Tom. Don't give her bad grammar that she doesn't even have.
That's why I corrected it. Do I need to enroll in Tim and Dom's charm school for halfwits? Thanks, Emily. Hey, it's not just for halfwits. It's for anybody.
Yeah. Tom.
It's for full wits, too.
First of all, Emily, I hope you had a great time at this movie. Otherwise,
Who cares?
I care.
She already has a boyfriend, and you're married, Tim.
Tom,
God.
why can't somebody say something nice to somebody else without there being ulterior motives?
I don't know.
Maybe she'll buy some of our merchandise from yourcompleteguide.com.
Maybe this is who emailed us about the domain.
Yeah.
They did come in at similar times, so.
Yeah. No, Tom. First of all, Emily, yes, you shouldn't have sat there.
Yeah.
I understand how you scientifically triangulated that or whatever and best seat. But when you're saying I can sit wherever I want, you're right. But then when you said it's not like I sat right next to her, so you are acknowledging that there are certain seats that are weirder to sit in than other ones.
Boundaries.
Yes. So, and also when you're in a theater with just 2 people, when you walk into a theater, part of the thrill of going in the middle of the day when there's not going to be many people there, it's
You're not going to say something perverted, are you?
No, I'm going to say you can go and have your own personal space.
You can stretch out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's you're seeing it on the big screen and you're getting the sound is booming and everything, and that's great. But also you don't have the thing where you're in such close proximity to strangers.
Yeah.
And you robbed that woman of that, and you robbed yourself of that, oddly, which is strange. But I understand your instinct to be like, I can optimize my viewing angle. What I'm saying is, if there were two, maybe this is where the diagram would have been helpful, because if there are two equal sides, and she sat on the aisle of one, why not just cross the aisle to directly the other one, which is actually not great, because like then that woman's now in your peripheral, and
now
you're
you
still
can see
in
each other.
Yeah. I understand why you did what you did, but it was weird that you did what you did. She shouldn't have freaked out. She should have just moved. Yeah. It would have been passive-aggressive and weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the woman definitely overreacted, it sounds like.
Well, this is what happens when you get two dames in a movie theater. One of them's just going to fly off the handle and sets the other one off, too.
They have a man in there to straighten everying out. All right.
The projectionist should have stuck his head out and been like, ladies,
come on, we could solve this. We could settle this.
I wish I hadn't said that part. I was just kidding.
Now, let me give me both of your husband's phone numbers.
They'll be able to.
Let me call them. They'll settle this. They'll tell you where to sit. The other woman definitely overreacted. Although I had this happen once where somebody did sit right next to me, and I literally just turned to him and went, "Are you serious?" And they went, "Oh," I think they honestly didn't notice, because it was just such a like weird thing to do. But yeah, like this other woman probably went to that 2:00 movie for the same reason I do that, which is explicitly to like not have as few people as possible in the theater.
Yeah, or in your view, like to be aware of as few people, right? Like so somebody right in front of you, like, and also like I don't know, I'm skeptical of everybody. I don't know. Somebody gets up to go to the bathroom. What's this person doing? What's going on here? You know, like, look.
Well, it takes you out of the movie if you see somebody getting up and.
Yeah, we covered this extensively on a recent episode, so we don't have to go too far into it. But Emily, what you did was wrong. Your boyfriend's right. But your boyfriend was not right to say that you invited the kind of fit that this woman...
this woman shouldn't have had a fit. Yeah. Emily should have... You know what? I get it. You say that's the optimal seat, but you see somebody in the seat behind it, you go...
That's no longer the optimal seat, by the way. Because that's another factor.
Because now that person is like denting into the optimal seat zone. They're corrupting it.
Exactly. That's another factor that you have to...
go one row in front of it. And now that is now the optimal seat.
Yeah. One row in front and across the aisle. That's what I would say. That's a good rule of thumb.
Now, what we don't know is if Emily has a big bouffant hairdo.
Yeah,
or a beehive. Yeah, because that might have really set this woman off. In which case... No, the woman was 100% right.
Yeah.
We swing back.
Unless this other woman
was a giraffe and could easily see over it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, Tom.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com. If you like the show, you can go to tcgt.com or your guide.
Yeah, we had to buy that domain name now, huh? Yourcompleteguide.com. I mean, don't go there yet.
Yeah, wait till we scrape together the $500 to buy it. You can also check out our Reddit at reddit.com/r/tcgte. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/completeguide. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Complete Guide, and I'm on those things as Tom Reynolds.
What happened?
Sorry. You know what? The order of the outro got all mixed up.
Yeah, you're all flustered.
Yeah, now I don't know what to say.
You shouldn't have read that email. That's my job, and now it's scrambled
now
your
I'm
brains.
like, error. Yeah. I am at your pal, Tim.
That's what I'm at, your pal, Tim.
And if you want to support the show, you can check out our Patreon at tcgt.com/pledge, where you get weekly mini episodes of things like Fast Food Friday and the Justice League Minute.
And if you want
Riverdale
pictures,
Review.
Yeah, if you want pictures of Ivan Rodriguez, that's tcgte.com/pudge.
What? Oh, that's his nickname.
Pudge Rodriguez, they called him. And now we got to make that site too. We're gonna be pulling an all-nighter
Yeah.
preparing for this episode.
Yeah, we
that
need our own
release.
webmaster. And you can also support the show by doing your Amazon shopping at tcgt.com/Amazon. So Tim, where do you fall ultimately on bar trivia pub quizzes?
It's one of those things that I like doing, but I'm rarely satisfied at the end because I'm either angry or I feel like I've been robbed, or that the quiz master was in cahoots with another team, or I'm just like, I don't take loss well, and I rarely win.
I don't like usually at the end, like everybody gets up right away and leaves, and I'm like, no, bask in my glory.
Yeah.
Usually
Baskin Robbins. That's where we'll meet
Robbins
for some shakes and some ice cream.
Hey, I got a free voucher from winning the pub quiz. Can you imagine if they give you ice cream?
That would be better than a bar tab.
If when you won, they handed you an ice cream cone.
I don't want an ice cream cone. I don't need an ice cream cone in public, Tom.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.